Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and in this real quick video, I'm going to show you the 3 rods you should be carrying when bank fishing. All right, kind of a bank fishing 101. I know a lot of guys say you can get by with 1 rod when you're fishing, and I think you can to a point. But if you want to be the most effective you can in the limitations that you have when bank fishing and being mobile and being able to pick up your tackle bag and your rods and take off, and still catch as many fish as you can, 3 rods is really what you ought to be looking at. And I'm going to talk about the actions, the powers of the actions of the rods that you should be carrying. And I always recommend 3 rods. And it's pretty simple. When the fishing's really tough, when the bite is really light, when it's really hard to catch fish, or if you're fishing a lake you've never fished before and you just want to see if there's fish in there, nothing beats a medium light action spinning rod. 7 foot, 7'3", really doesn't matter, but medium light spinning rod, 8-pound test fluorocarbon, little bitty baits like a Ned rig, a drop shot, that kind of stuff. That can really make a difference on a lake that is overpressured and has a tough bite. So a medium light action spinning rod. The second one is my bread and butter rod, and a lot of you guys hear me talk about it, and that's a medium fast action Baitcaster. And you can have a medium fast action spinning rod as well as if you don't know how to cast a Baitcaster. But medium fast action Baitcaster is what I use for all of my moving baits when I'm fishing banks and when I'm fishing shallow. Square bills, lipless crankbaits, spinner baits, buzz baits, a lot of those moving baits, top waters, that kind of stuff are really good with a medium action Baitcaster. 7 foot, 7'1", 7'3", anywhere around that. 6/8's just fine too. Short rods are really good when bank fishing, so yeah, I kind of lean towards a shorter rod. But gear ratio on reels, 7:3 to 1 is your best all-around Baitcaster. You can speed up, you can slow down, you can just do about just anything. It just covers a lot of bases. And the third rod is, of course, a medium heavy rod, something you can throw like a Texas rig, a Carolina rig, a jig. Carolina rig, when I fished the bank for 15-20 years, man, I spent every day with a Carolina rig because it transmits a lot of what's on the bottom. You can figure out where the drops are and where the bank is coming up and where the rocks, and just a really good technique to be able to feel the bottom. But jigs, Texas rigs, just about anything where you are dragging a heavier bait, flipping into heavier cover and stuff like that. This is a 7'5". I would probably recommend something shorter, around a 7 foot, 6'8", 7'2", but this is the only one I've got with me today. Once again, an 8:1 gear ratio or 7:3 to 1 will do you just fine, and just amazing. Now, another little trick. When you are walking through the woods and stuff like that, I have found, and through fly fishing for years in really thick cover and stuff like that, and having to walk through the woods with rods, it is easier to walk through the woods not with your tips facing forward, but with your rod tips facing backwards. So you grab your rods just above the reels and you carry them to your side with it facing backwards. By doing that, you're not going to miss any fish, or you're not going to get your DNR. You're not going to get your rods hung up in trees and things like that as much. Another thing you can do to minimize the amount of hang-ups you get while walking through the woods is when you're finished with your lure, when you put your lure on your hook keeper, grab your line that's not going through your guides, and then just twist your rod just like that, and it runs that line right along your rod, and it keeps it from getting snagged up in those trees as easy. So those 2 good tips when you're walking through the woods, when you're bank fishing. But like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day. We'll see you.